James Steinhubel with TVU, and I have Kristen Lagore, Community Coordinator with Adeara. How you doing, Kristen?
Hey everybody, I'm doing so well. Thank you for having me.
It is so good, and there is so much to talk about. It's the first time you've been on TVU, so maybe just a
Yeah.
little bit of background and then a little bit of foreground with Adeara. But let's get into your event that's coming up. It's so exciting.
Yes, for sure. You want to, so just share a little bit about Adeara, hey?
Yourself.
So
Start with yourself, and then Adeara, and then the event.
awesome. So my name is Kristen Lagore. I work for Adeara Recovery Centre. I love people. I love community. I love bringing people together and watching people walk through their own journeys of healing and becoming all of who they're meant to be. That's one of my mantras in life, what I love. And so I've been working at Adeara Recovery Centre for the last 2 years. In total, I've been there for over 6 years now, with a period years ago of working there and now the last 2 years. For those of you who don't know Adeara, what Adeara Recovery is, we used to be called the Edmonton Dream Center. So some people in Edmonton know us more as the Edmonton Dream Center. But now we have rebranded a couple years ago to be called Adeara Recovery Center. And so who we are, we've been around for 23 years now, since 1998, or I guess 22 years. And we are a long-term residential recovery center for women coming out of addiction, trauma, crisis, homelessness, all of the above. So women coming out of all of that, adult women 18 plus, we are a full-time residential, so they live there with us. They go through a full-time program. And we are also faith-based, which is really exciting because there's not a lot of long-term faith-based programs around these days. The other thing that makes us really unique also that I would love to share is we are one of the only long-term recovery centers in Canada that allows women to enter programming with their children. So generally women have to kind of choose between recovery or keeping their kids, which is obviously a really tough choice. But with Adeara, we actually allow the women to bring their children up to the age of 10 in with them. So it's a really special ministry, nonprofit organization in Edmonton where we can really see a lot of healing in families, in women, in children. And it's a very holistic approach that we take so that it allows a lot of sustainable freedom. When it comes to recovery, there's a lot of short-term programs out there. There's a very low success rate in general when it comes to people recovering from addictions and having that sustainable freedom and recovery. But Adeara, it's an amazing place to work because we are very holistic. We take a holistic approach. We're long-term, so the women can stay for up to 2 or 3 years. They commit to a minimum of 6 months, but they can stay for 2 to 3 years. So it allows for that time to really be transformed on the inside, so that the outside can be transformed as well, and what they see, where they see themselves going. So there's a lot of work that's done on the inside of the women and the children while they're with us for those couple of years. Like I said, that allows for long-term transformation and sustainability. So it's an incredible place to work. I'm so honored. I'm the community coordinator. I should have said that at the beginning. So what that means is I'm basically the liaison between Adeara and the rest of the community, the church community, the business community, individuals. I am the girl that kind of helps promote who we are in our community so that we can help more women and more families, but also gain the support that we need from the community.
That's so good. I can definitely see how faith communities can be involved in having you in their prayers, and how the community can be involved by helping people who need Adeara.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
businesses can get involved in a special way.
Yes, they really can. So I'll just share this. Adeara, basically, how do I say this? We are sustained. We're able to operate because of the support of our community. So we're not government funded because we're faith-based. The government won't support us in many ways. And so we actually operate solely based on donations from our businesses, the business community, the church community, and individuals. And so like our biggest need really especially in the season, is to have businesses and individuals come on board as monthly donors. So like I said, outside of a few grants that we get through the government, and 2 large events that we do annually, outside of that, though, that funding, plus each of the women that come in, they're on income support. So they're on Alberta Work, so they get a little bit to cover the rent. But we have a large budget because of our our staff. We have trained therapists. We've got 24-hour staff in our center. So we have like a large budget that will allow us to keep going. And so the only way that we can keep going, the only way that we've continued to keep going, is through monthly donors, people who sign up to help us monthly financially. Obviously, we really appreciate prayer. That's huge. We are based on prayer. Our entire facility and ministry is, but we need finances. We need monthly donors. And so in terms of, if people are wondering, how can I support you guys? How can I help carry this vision forward? One of the, outside of prayer being the biggest, we really do need businesses and individuals and churches to say, hey, I want to sign up and become a monthly donor for you guys. So that's one of our largest.
Sure. Now, is that something that people have to phone for? Is it virtual? Can they visit the website?
Yeah. So the website is adeara.ca. That's ADEARA.ca. And so you can go on there. There's a giving button, and so that will kind of walk you through. I think it is Canada Helps. If I'm not, I don't know all the lingo for it all, but if you go on the website, you'll see you can actually sign up for the monthly donations there, or you can actually call in if you'd like a little bit more information. You can call in to the center, 780-423-5516. There you go. Donate monthly with Canada Helps. So you can sign up through our website, or you can just, if you prefer to give, cash or check, or that type of thing, you can just call in and find out how you can do that. But we have a lot of people who send monthly checks. They would prefer to do it that way. And then we have a lot of people who just go on our website just to put in their credit card and just say, hey, I'd love to have this much taken off every month. And every little bit counts. We're literally, I have never worked in a place where I've seen so many lives transformed. This is not just like your regular recovery center where people come in for 3 weeks or a month or 3 months even. This is a long-term recovery center where it's holistically based. There's a spiritual aspect of it. Women are literally being completely transformed between the counseling, all the support that they're getting on 24/7 there. They're being transformed through having an opportunity to get to know God and who He is, and learning how to forgive themselves, learning how to forgive others. It is like such an incredible place to give to, because you're seeing, again, sustainable freedom. We want to break generations of addictions at Adeara. That's one of our goals, is we want to see changed communities through changed lives. And the only way to completely transform a life is to give it a lot of time, because change always takes time, but also have the right support in place and prayer in place, and an opportunity for people to dig deep and forgive themselves and to work through all the things that have been holding them back and keeping them in addiction. And so I really love Adeara, because we don't just deal with the fruit of what you see in somebody's life, like the destructive behaviors and the thought patterns and the family issues. We don't deal with just that stuff. You deal with the root that's below the fruit. And so you can never just deal with those things. Those things will always come back unless you deal with the deeper issues that's causing. What is the pain? What is the trauma that's causing the fruit in their life, the destructive behaviors and thought patterns? If you deal with the roots, everything else changes. And that's what we're seeing at Adeara. And it's really rewarding. We have such a high success rate. We're seeing people's lives transformed consistently. We're seeing children's lives and women's lives. And then in turn, addiction is being broken off generationally, where many of these women come from generation after generation after generation of addiction. So it's a really special place to give to support, because you're supporting sustainable freedom, which is going to transform our communities.
It's very interesting. It seems, that these are, in our age, how we have to continually, not interpret, but hear, what the scripture and the spirit is saying to us in our daily lives. And it's so
Yeah.
neat that someone who's trained with a pastoral degree, a theology degree, with a minor in counseling, has found herself, at the leading edge of community connection for such a good work. And the reason
Yeah.
I say that is that there are widows and orphans in the modern time, but these people seem to be our current widows and orphans, and to be there, that's what it's all about. Am I close with that, or?
Yeah, no, it's really special. Obviously, with any of us, we need to, God wants to lead us. God is alive and well. He is wanting to continue bringing wholeness and healing into every one of our lives, whether we're a widow or an orphan, whether we've struggled with addiction or not. We all are broken. We all have brokenness in our lives, and God wants to work with each one of us. And so I just happen to be, God clearly led, that's a whole nother story, but he very clearly led me to Adeara. To be a part of this ministry. But for each of us, God wants to, he wants to bring healing into each of our lives so that we can live freely as who we're meant to be living. We're meant to live freely, but then he also wants to lead us into other people's lives to help change other people's lives as well. We're meant to be used. We're never meant to just receive a lot. We're always meant to give as well. We need to receive healing and wholeness, but we also need to give, because each of us have a story that is powerful to a demographic of people who need to hear our story.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. So there you are. You're community coordinator,
Yeah.
and you're in this great work. In the middle of a great city, lots of need. So you're in that kind of position where you're reinventing it constantly, because community is a moving target, right? Because it changes. People move, they come and go. The situations change, especially that broad group of people you said that you deal with: faith, communities, businesses.
Yeah, exactly.
So today, where are you finding yourself that's challenging and causing you to stretch and grow in terms of your position?
Right. Yeah. So when I first came on with this position of community coordinator, my main goal, I was helping put together actually a book of stories and pictures and testimonies and history from Adeara's past. So one of my jobs was to kind of put together this book, which we have now created, but also was, community coordinator. So I was supposed to be connecting primarily with churches. That was kind of my main connect time point. And obviously churches are going through a really rough time with COVID right now. It's really hard. A lot of them, everyone has had to close their doors in terms of corporate meetings. And so financially, just different kinds of support has been really hard for Adeara to attain through churches, because churches are going through their own struggles. So I would say the current struggle for me has been to become more creative and innovative with how are we reaching out to the community. I can't really rely on those who I've been relying on for so long in terms of the support and the advertisements, which is okay. And we understand that we're in a different kind of season. So it's been more of how can we reach out and find support through maybe other, like the individuals and the different businesses. But again, businesses are also having a hard time in this season. So we totally understand that we're all having a hard time. One thing that I would say is, despite we're all in a place of trying to find, to balance our books and to find the finances that we need. A lot of recovery centers in Edmonton and around Canada have actually had to close their doors in this season. So Adeara has it, and we're really grateful for that. We don't want to. And so right now I would say the struggle comes from watching every one of us are struggling, like everyone in the community is struggling. So it's hard to ask for donations and ask to give, but at the same time, unless we have people donating and helping us with resources, we're going to eventually have to close our doors if we don't. Like, we're doing okay. God has blessed us. But the reality is that we are completely reliant on donations. So just as much as everyone else is struggling, Adeara is as well. And so I would say with that, it's been interesting for me. I've been stretched to, like I said, become more creative and innovative with finding that support that we're actually really in need of every day. And so the biggest thing that I would love to just share about right now that I'm being stretched in is one of the things that I've taken on at Adeara is I love events. I love people. And so I've been able to help with we have two large events every year that we put on, and these are fundraisers. One of them is in October, one of them is in June. And so the one in June is called the Leap of Faith. So this is a skydiving event, which is really exciting. A lot of people have skydiving on their bucket list, but what we did is, I think it was 7 or 8 years ago, we created this event called the Leap of Faith, which, like I said, it's a tandem skydive where we work alongside a skydiving company here in Edmonton. We have individuals, businesses, lots of different people from our community say yes. So the idea is we ask for many individuals to sign up as one of our skydivers. Each of them, whether they're a business, an individual, or a student, we have 3 different jumps. They have to raise a certain amount of money. So with the corporations or businesses, we're asking that they donate a minimum of $3,000. Individuals have to raise $1,500 a minimum of, and students have to raise a minimum of $750. And so once they reach their minimum, obviously it's a fundraiser, so the more the better. Obviously, it would be very helpful for us. But once they reach that minimum, that basically confirms they are going to be skydiving with us. So we put on a massive festival called the Leap of Faith. This year it was supposed to be June 20th, but we've now rescheduled to September 12th, thankfully, because of COVID, obviously. So yeah, we get individuals from the community. We have businesses that get excited. All of this is tax deductible, so you can get tax receipts for all your donations, which is very exciting. Plus you get an opportunity to skydive, which check that off of your bucket list. Or if you don't want to skydive, have one of your family members or friends do it instead. And it's a really fun fundraising event. Last year we had 40 people jump out of the airplanes on our day, our big festival day, and we raised together collectively we raised $84,000. So this year our goal has been, we want 60 jumpers and we want to raise a minimum of 110,000. We would like to increase. Obviously COVID has put a wrench in everyone's plans, and so that is the biggest need right now. Is we have now rescheduled to Saturday, September 12th. The Leap of Faith. And so you can find that on our website. You can actually go to adearaleapoffaith.org. That is our website, adearaleapoffaith.org. That's where you can sign up as a jumper. That's where you can find out all the details. Again, we've just rescheduled to September 12th. So we're looking for 25 more jumpers. We currently have 27 jumpers who have said yes and that are currently fundraising. But we're looking for 25 more. Our original goal was to have 60 jumpers, but with COVID, if we can get to 50 jumpers, that would be my goal. So we're actually looking for, I've got some different goals that I'm going to be advertising on our Instagram channel, what is it called? Our Instagram page over the next 8 weeks, but I'm looking for 25 more jumpers to help us get to $110,000 in total. So if you're a business, and you would like to donate $3,000 and have the owner of the business or one of your employees jump for you, that would be amazing. If you're an individual and you're like, I would love to just fundraise with, utilizing my own communities and social circles, that would be a great way. Or if you're a student in university, going back to, even if as long as you're 16 years old and older, you're able to jump for us as long as you have parental consent. So here we go. Here's the Leap of Faith. The 3 girls that you see on the screen here are actually 3 of our counselors. So the one in red actually is our clinical coordinator, and then the 2 girls in blue are our trained therapists and counselors. So all 3 of them last year did a big jump together, and which was really exciting. So you jump from 14,000 feet. It's a tandem jump, so you're with a trained professional. You're not by yourself, and it's very exciting. Again, depending on the social group restrictions, come September, we might have to change how it looks. It might not be a massive festival like we normally do. We normally have vendors from our community set up their pop-up shops, and people can come and purchase different things. They can come watch everybody skydive. It's a big day event. It's a lot of fun. We have live music, food. This year, though, it might look a bit different. So we're trying to figure out what that looks like depending the restrictions because of COVID. So that's what our biggest need is monthly donors, and we need jumpers right now to sign up for the skydiving event. So we would love for you to sign up. We're really excited about it.
Good. That's good. That's good. It's exciting. TVU likes the idea. So
James, would you actually sign up to skydive this year?
Will I sign up to skydive?
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
You know what?
I feel like your listeners would love to watch you jump out of an airplane if you haven't done
I think you're right.
that.
I have to, it is a leap of, no, I'm into it. Can I do it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the first thing that came to my mind is when I was little and I never could jump off a high board until I was older. And I remember many times stalling, you know what I mean? So I'm up for it. I just have to get psychologically ready. I do have till September 11th.
September 12th is the event. So I think literally we've had people sign up 2 weeks before the event and get their funds in.
So is your sponsor thing all online? Like, how do you keep track of it? You get an app? So is it an app or what?
No. So basically when a person signs up to jump for the Leap of Faith, they actually have to create a profile on the adearaleapoffaith.org. So when you go and push register, it takes you through the process. You create your own jump campaign page with your picture, a description of why you're jumping, and then it kind of shows you as people donate online to your specific jump. Because when somebody goes online to donate to, let's say, James, your jump, they'll be brought to your profile, they'll see your picture, and then they can donate online, or they can obviously give you cash or check, which you would bring to Adeara. And so, everyone's got their own jump page through the leapoffaith.org page. And then you can just send people your link and just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'd love for you to donate. Again, all donations are tax deductible, which is helpful. Yeah. And I would just like to say too, we call it the Leap of Faith because the women that come through our center, through our program, it's a very hard program. It's hard to leave everything that you've known, even if it's destructive, even if it's a destructive, unhealthy lifestyle. It's really hard to leave everything and to say, I'm going to change my life. It's a huge leap of faith, right? And so we call this the Leap of Faith in honor of our women who take a leap of faith every day to walk through our program. Oh, I get emotional with it. So our the board of directors, Mark Evans, it was him years ago who decided, I want to do a leap of faith. I want to try something different. So he raised $25,000, jumped out of an airplane, gave it to Adeara, and from that point on, has birthed the Leap of Faith, which we've been doing every year with. We just love bringing in our community of supporters or people who don't even know us. People are always wanting to give back to a worthy cause, a cause that's actually changing lives. So that's the Leap of Faith, and we would love for you to get involved. Again, I'm looking for 25 jumpers. Follow us on Instagram, and you're going to see a lot of my posts over the next 8 weeks asking for a specific amount of jumpers every week. So we'll be giving you a lot more information that way.
Yeah, I think that we can get on that page. So I just go up to the page, and then I can make a banner links, and I can create my own commercials and put it on 100%. The TV. And
yeah, you could do that. And
now, if I raise more than 3, can more than one person jump? Like if it's TVU, sure. If we raise like 30 grand, could 10 people jump?
Well, we do have sponsors as well. We're looking for sponsors as well. I don't remember exactly the amounts. I think one is a $5,000 event sponsor, one's a $10,000, one's $20,000. Mm-hmm. And with each of those, you can have like a bunch of, like, I think with 20 grand, you can get 3 or 4 jumpers. I'm not sure. We'd have to look. If you look online, you'll probably find that info. Awesome. But obviously, each jumper has to raise a minimum of however much. I don't know I can't answer all your questions with like, if you raise 10,000.
No, I'm just teasing. You told me what you did. Put up your 20 grand, you can have 10 guys, right? So.
Or no, not 10. I didn't say that. For sure, I think there's 2, maybe 3. But we actually have different people right now. Their goal is $10,000 or $11,000, and it's just one person jumping. They just want to raise as much money for Adeara as possible. The reality is, with each person jumping, we have to give $300 of that to the skydiving company, because they still need to make their own money for the jumpers. So when you sign up, there's a $100 payment that each of the jumper pays, and that goes towards their jump, so that Adeara doesn't have to pay all this extra money for the jumps. And
just take care of it up front. Yeah, no, that's fair.
So anyway, that's a little bit about the Leap of Faith. We'd love for you guys to join us.
That sounds totally fun. What a great time. Kristen Lagore, community coordinator with Adeara on TVU.
So thankful to be here. I love being here with you. Thanks for asking some great questions. And it's honestly an honor. We feel like we're a hidden gem in the city of Edmonton. A lot of people say that. They're like, why haven't we known about you? Why don't, like, you've been here for 22 years. The truth is, we've just never had, I think, the maybe the wisdom or capacity or the knowledge in the past to know how to advertise a lot. And so we're in this whole new era where God's allowing us to we have a team, that a community, our communications team, where we're trying to get out into the public. We want to grow, we want to expand, we want to help more women. And so if you can help us get the word out by jumping, by becoming a monthly donor, by following us on Instagram or Facebook, by volunteering, we would love to have any support we can, because we want to help continue changing our community through changing women's lives. So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Talk to you next time.
Okay. Bye.